Hello and Assalamualaikum. We are from subgroup 6 for group class 33 PBI1082 English for occupational purposes. So in this video, we will be presenting for our group assignment. And before we start, I would like to introduce our group members. My name is Muhammad Koit Amani bin Muhammad Noor. And the next one we have Monica John, and then Mixley Kron Uyang Mary, and we also have Muhammad Arif Nainur Ramadan Ali, and finally is Muhammad Halim bin Jafar. Our company's name is GRE Sendirian Berhad, and we aim to become a global asset leasing and engineering companies specializing in multi-redeployment floaters and integrated engineering solutions. It goes with our motto: we design, we engineer, we provide total asset solutions. So in this video, we are going to focus on how we are going to eliminate racial, national, and regional discrimination and biasness in the workplace. So first of all, what's actually happening is the racial discrimination rate has been increasing lately among the hiring companies, including the GRE Sendirian Berhad. So what happened is the applicants from various races are facing difficulties and challenges in securing the job interviews compared to Chinese applicants which can speak Mandarin. So there was a survey conducted which consists of 7 applicants from 3 major races, which is Chinese, Malay, and Indian. So from the survey, the highest applicants with corporate rate of 50% is female Chinese applicants, followed by male Chinese applicants with 32% corporate rate, while the lowest is Indian male applicant with only 3.66%, and the remaining of the applicants only have corporate rates which lower than 15%, and compared to the Chinese applicants, their corporate rates are very low. And considering that all 7 applicants have same set of skills and qualification, the gap between the highest and the lowest should not be that huge, and this suggests that the employers are biased towards the Chinese applicants. So to prevent this issue from being more problematic, we decide to take 3 precautions to prevent all of this from happening and put an end to the racial discrimination that is happening in our companies.
Hello everyone, my name is Monica John, and I will present the first solution, which is conducting a racial bias training. The first solution in order to eliminate racial, regional, and national discrimination and biasness in the workplace is by conducting a racial bias training. Green 2020 stated that racism is not just an individual problem requiring an individual intervention, but a structural and organizational problem that will require a lot of work to change. What is racial bias training? It is an educational program, and its goal is to encourage the employees to address racial bias at the workplace. Bias and its consequences can be better understood with the help of this training. It is also can teach employees to manage their prejudices and adjust their behavior and can track their progress. What is the purpose? It is to decrease bias in attitudes and behaviors at work, from hiring and promotion choices to interaction with customers and co-workers. How to conduct this racial bias training is that by 3 major methods: but the three most basic approaches are the same for all of them. In the beginning, participants will take a pretest to determine the baseline implicit bias. Next, they must complete the task on racial bias. The prejudice will be re-evaluated following training with a post-test. Until the training is complete, these racial bias training approaches will be used to analyze the program's long-term results. The implementation plan is employees will be educated about the possibility of discrimination in the workplace through a training and development program. Every employee's performance will be reviewed and evaluated by the department's manager. Employers' principles of professionalism and mutual respect in the workplace are emphasized by the program, which will be focused on the employee goals of eliminating discrimination. In addition, the program's coursework focuses on ethnic minorities, unconscious bias, and diversity management. In order to develop a healthy, inclusive, and productive work environment, everyone should value diversity, and this training can help them understand why it is so important. Thank you, that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Arif, and I will be continuing for the second solution, which is developing a written policy in the company. A written policy that outlines a working practice and regulation that employee must abide by is developed. This will demonstrate that the company has zero tolerance for harassment and discrimination in any form. Company can make sure that the policy will have clear procedure and rule established within it to make managers and employees aware of the acceptable workplace behavior within the workplace. In case of misbehavior by the employee, it's easier for the manager to point to the policy than referring to a law that we might not heard of. As a result, rather than avoiding it, it will motivate potential employees to apply for the job. To implement this into the company, the policy should contain the company unique sets of anti-discrimination regulation and sign an acknowledgement of receipt as proof. Information and protocols for where to file complaints and how to conduct investigation should also be included in the guidelines. The anti-discrimination rules of company might differ greatly depending on their culture and nature, but it is necessary to emphasize that employees have a right to work in a setting part where their knowledge, skill, and abilities are the most crucial component in their success. This will encourage employees to come forward and take part in the inquiry by telling them that their identities will be kept private to a reasonable extent, and that those who file complaint will always be safeguarded and keep secret. Another strategy is to educate managers and workers on proper workplace conduct in the company by having a clear procedure and rules in the workplace. This means that the employee cannot say that they don't know what the rule is when the policy have been enforced from the start when they start working in the company. Thus, issues that arise can be settled quickly and swiftly by referring to the policy. This will create consistency in how companies address the issues and treating every employee fairly. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Halim Jaffa with the matrix number at 0155. And now I'll be explaining about the last solution, which is the Mandarin language requirement inside job description should be abolished. So every job has its requirement, which includes putting Mandarin language inside job description. Although a language requirement is not a form of racial prejudice and discrimination, but it has high tendency of the workers to misuse the advantage if the company turns their blind eyes. One of the purpose to abolish Mandarin language requirement is because it will block the opportunity among non-Mandarin speakers to secure a job. This is because many non-Mandarin speakers will feel disqualified before applying for the vacant job as the language requirement deems necessary to fulfill the conditions. Hence, if the company insists to find workers who are able to speak Mandarin, the company might have low chance to create a diverse workplace and a high quality of work culture. So, next, the other reason to stop putting Mandarin language as the necessary requirement is because many fresh graduates do not have knowledge in Mandarin language. Most of the university do not offer Mandarin class, and Mandarin language is not a mandatory subject since high school. So how can a company look for Mandarin speakers other than Malaysian Chinese, as the number of non-Mandarin speakers are much higher than Mandarin speakers in our country? Moreover, Mandarin is not a commonly used language in our country, and thus the company's requirements should be reasonable and rational in order to avoid bias when hiring employees. In our point of view, if the company still insists to look for an employee with Mandarin language skills, then the requirement in the job advertisement should be wrote as an added advantage. So that is all for me, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Mixi Uyang Mary with matrix number X0060, and I will present the implementations that we have planned. So first of all, we come up with the idea of training and development program will be initiated to educate employees about the discriminations that can take place in organizations. Every staff will be monitored and assessed by the manager department. The program highlights on the employees' goals of eliminating discriminations and otherwise reinforce the employer's values of professionalism and mutual respect in workplace. Content of the program prioritize on racial minorities, dealing with unconscious bias, and managing diversity. Apart from that, the staff with the most outstanding performance and behavior will be awarded throughout this program. This training can make them understand the importance for everyone to value diversity, as it helps building a positive, inclusive, and productive work culture. Apart from that, the HR department will develop and implement anti-discrimination policy to provide new recruit staff and existing staff a sense of security and feel respected in the company. This policy will not tolerate, condone discrimination at workplace. HR should evaluate job requirements and rules and regulations. They have to make sure they do not contradict the principle within the anti-discriminatory policy. For example, recruitment of new staff will focus on their oral and written communication skills, professionalism, multitasking skills, and many more without including any language requirement and racist bias during hiring sessions. Hence, if the company cultivates the anti-discrimination culture, it can maintain organization-wide diversity and ensuring everyone is treated fairly. Lastly, the recruitment team that responsible for advertisement of the job will remove the Mandarin language requirement and focus more on job description. One of the reasons is to appeal a wider range of candidates when recruiting new staff. For example, people without the same university education or industry experience may be more likely to apply if the company reduces the jargon and elitist language term that may make them feel unsuitable. Moreover, the company should pay attention to the terminology used in talent branding can help to attract and retain more diverse teams and create more varied working environment. Hence, it can improve diversity in all sense, from culture or gender diversity to simply appealing to people from different backgrounds. So that's all for me. Thank you.